Here we are with gate 57, the gate of intuitive insight or intuitive clarity, the gentle. So here it is in our quarter of duality. As we move through this quarter, it sits here in the spleen. So you have the capacity to penetrate into one's core in the now, to have intuitive clarity if you have this in your, if you have this in your body graph. It is, of course, in the individual circuitry, and the individual circuitry is very acoustic. So you have a deep inner attunement to sound that is constantly alert to vibrations. Now, that's all our entire existence is vibration and frequency. That's all it is. And we've come to an agreement someplace, somewhere, somehow, that, you know, when we see a particular thing and it's vibrating in a particular way, we've all decided, okay, well, that's a tree, or that's an apple, or, you know, whatever it is. That's a cat. We're humans, whatever that is. And this gate is very attuned to that. Now, also it's attuned, but it speaks very quietly. Intuition is not noisy. The not self is very noisy. It's like a little kid in the kitchen banging on pots and pans with the spatulas out of mom's drawer, out of the, you know, the wooden spoons. That's noisy. And that's what the not self does, because it's constantly trying to get attention. And really, what is the not self? The not self is conformity. You know, if you just watch the news for a minute, you know, scroll through your news feed for a minute, everybody's trying to conform everybody. You know, I'm trying to conform you to living your human design. You know, trust it, be it. And really, I'm trying to get you on the bandwagon of this. And it's conformity, really. Everything is. Everything's conforming. So this gate is in the moment, and it stays attuned to what is going to be safe or not. It is the right ear. So if you really want to hear what people are saying to you, listen through the right ear. If you have this in your definition. If you don't have it in your definition, it's something that you're learning. Like, you're learning it. Okay, so the fear that sits here in this gate, this is really, really interesting. It's the fear of tomorrow. It's the fear of the future. You know, how do I keep you safe and vital and fighting for and taking a risk into the future and keeping your health and safe in that risk? And the only way to do that is to operate from the now. The only way to, you know, let the fear of the future subside is to just operate from the present. Tomorrow's not going to come for a vast majority of us on this planet today. A vast majority are going to, you know, shed their meat suits and move into pure positive energy. You and I eventually will shed our meat suit and move into pure positive energy. So relax into that and just be present right here in this moment. So, you know, intuition is, you know, it makes billions or millions of dollars a year. I have no idea how much it makes, but I'm assuming millions of dollars a year. How do you use your intuition? How do you get better at listening to your intuition? Blah, blah, blah. And it all depends on your design. If it is a part of your design, you've probably taken it for granted. It's been helping guide you your whole life, and you've probably taken it for granted. Now, if it isn't in your design, what's most likely happened is you've pressured yourself so hard to be intuitive that you can't hear it because you're very noisy inside your head. Because there's all this, you know, pressure to be intuitive. And most likely, if you're listening to this video, you're in, you know, you probably walk in circles of like-minded people that know that we're just not here in this meat suit, that there's something more. And if you don't have it defined in your body graph, if the 57th gate is not defined in your body graph, intuition is going to come and go. It's not defined in my body graph. Intuition comes and goes for me. But when it's there, it's very, very quiet. That's the reason that we all have a strategy and an authority. You know, our mental projectors and our reflectors have no inner authority, but really when you look at what Ross says, they still talk about there's this process of speaking. So really it is an inner authority based off of the environment that you're in. So there's no need to pressure yourself and allow for the not self to tell you BS stories that, you know, you're not intuitive enough. Oh, you didn't listen to yourself. Trust your strategy and authority, period. Intuition comes and goes for me, but I walk with my sacral being my inner authority. And when the intuition, you know, when an answer comes in, I've asked. Again, the universe is an emotional manifesting generator. So grasp that. You ask the universe, and then it's just divine timing as to when the answer comes. You can't push it. You can't make it happen because it is outside of your hands. So there's no need to pressurize yourself to listen to your intuition. If it's not defined in your body graph, just relax. It's going to come and go. That is why you have an inner authority. Trust the inner authority. And if you do have it in your body graph, stop taking it for granted. You know, calm yourself down enough. Relax yourself inside enough that you can hear the quiet, subtle voice. And if it is your authority, if the spleen's your authority, it's going to be very quiet. If the spleen is speaking with the gut, it's saying, oh, I'm healthy now. Yes, I have available energy, right? If the spleen is, you know, the sacral center and the emotional center are all defined, you know, the spleen is saying, okay, I'm healthy now in the wave. I'm healthy now in the wave. I'm not healthy. The body's not healthy. It'll tell your inner authority. They all talk. Nothing is operating on its own in your body graph. Even if you're quad split, nothing's operating on its own. Everything's communicating. You know, imagine if you had to tell yourself, oh, breathe, breathe, breathe. It's all happening under, you know, you don't have to think about it. And the intuition is there as well if you have this defined in your body graph. So you don't have to take anything for granted when it's a definition. Just allow it to be. And stop trying to get better at what you don't have in your body graph, and trust the guidance of what you do have in your body graph. That's what human design teaches. The world teaches you something totally different. Work on your weaknesses. Don't waste your time, because the people that have that energy will show up in your world. But if you're so damn distracted, never going to happen, and you will be completely exhausted. So again, anything in design that intrigues you, or you want to look at your body graph and you want it synthesized, let me know. This is just a few of the things that I do in my business. So if the videos are good for you, that's great. And if you want to look into it further, let me know. Thanks.